So how did FaZe lose their first real hard point of the season? Like a lot of people are saying it's because like they're caught off guard, they haven't played it in a long time, and NYSL like hit them with like not the reverse Uno, but just hit them with like a chess move, bringing a map that they're so good at but haven't played in a long time. But I don't think that's it. I think partially because like the real spawns changed and like the things like that, like a lot of things changed since like the last time they actually played in a match, but obviously they're still scrimming it all the time. Like they scrim all these maps all the time, but maybe they weren't putting as much effort into it as other maps that they're trying to work on in their map pool. Like they probably kind of assume they're so good at this map, maybe they don't have to practice as much. But it was some small things, honestly. There's some small things here that we're gonna break down that actually changed this game a lot. And I don't know, man. It's like they just like play so different in like the finals sometimes, especially when it comes to Hardpoint. Like their Hardpoint just looked like so fucking weird. Like so weird from like the last time. I'm gonna break down the 6-star Hardpoint as well. But honestly, like the 6-star Hardpoint was just NYSL holding P3, like literally all the time, bro, for like all the time. And on this map, it was P4. They held P4 like for like 120 seconds. It felt like throughout the whole entire game. They got over 100 points on P4, and it all came down to the work that was happening on P3. So call me crazy. I could be crazy here. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are on this spawn. Is this a normal spawn? We're about to find out. So FaZe kills everyone here. Is it because number 5's pushed up on new? Like, FaZe has 3 up on the hill. Number 1's right there. So shouldn't their guy spawn in the back? Like, this guy's right here, bro. They have 3 up on the hill. NYSL's kind of like not like behind them. So I kind of feel like FaZe should be getting that spawn back there. But why does... And even if he does move up, like, why does he get that spawn? Because I think it was right before number 3 died. If it was, then hold on. Oh, bro, that may have been some crazy timing on like the kills. If like number 3 just stays alive for 2 seconds, because I think, nah, I mean he's spawned up before him, but I kind of feel like number 2 should be spawning in the back. Like that's so weird that even flipped. Because the second that flips, like now NYSL has like control of this side, and granted like they got a 2-piece, but they have like another guy back here. They just pinch him and they continue spawning back there. And here was another big part of the momentum swing. There's those big TDM kills I talk about in Hardpoint. There's just like certain kills like on rotations or when you're holding that means so much. So they got this streak, basically got the info. There's 2 in garage. So Draw's just trying to get a kill there. He's taking space as he should because there's streak in the air. Like team's not gonna move out of the building, but bro, he has to get at least 1 here. Like him not getting 1 here actually threw this whole hill in NYSL's favor because he dies, and now granted it's a 3v3, but all of FaZe has to cross, and this guy's able to just sneak underneath. Kismet just sneaks underneath. Like having that extra guy Draza there, if he got that kill, probably would have swung that hill in FaZe's favor, and that probably would have been like 80 to 50 now, maybe 80 to 50, 80 to 60. Like it would still be more in FaZe's control. And then throughout this map, man, FaZe was just getting pinched. Like they couldn't hold the hill. They could not even hold this fucking P5, bro. They literally couldn't hold a thing after this. It's like the momentum just swung all the way from P2. Time and time again, they just weren't keeping track of Hydra. Hydra is like the win condition for NYSL in terms of he's the person that makes the plays. He's the one that pinches. And multiple times you see Hydra just pinching in the back, literally getting 3. Like he's literally the reason why NYSL holds half of these hills, because he's constantly flanking. These are like the type of players that FaZe has issues with, is like the Shotzys when Shotzi's on, the Hydras, like, you know, players that are pinching, Kleenex when like he's on, like players they can't keep track of and they constantly have to worry about, really throws FaZe off their game. And NYSL did a good job throughout this hard point. Hydra pinching, the P4 holds Hydra was on. Like, if Hydra was getting pissed on and they were watching him on the flank all the time, it was having a good game. This game could have, like, shifted in a completely different way. And we're going to break down this P2 because I felt like FaZe highly trolled this as well. I talk about it sometimes when you get a wave of kills when you're holding a hill, obviously. Bro, you got to get at least 2-3 waves before you could really, like, push up. Obviously, when you get the first wave, push up, get map control. But then, bro, you got to just get position and chill. You got to secure the time, especially when you're down. 149 to 90, like, you need all this time. You get all this time, it's like 138. Even if you get to 130 to 149, a lot closer of a game. You're not as demoralized. Sim gets a crazy kill there before he dies. So then they kill him. So now they basically have everyone up, or I mean, they basically have everyone down. Obviously, Hydra came off a spawn, bro. They need, like, I'm fine with, like, 2 people pushing up, getting map control, but number 2 has to, like, stay and play, like, a secure hold with number 1 until, like, they get another wave here. Allow number 3 and number 4 to do their thing, but you need to be, like, the blanket to, like, the guy on the hill. You need to be the blanket to the guy on the hill, because Hydra's always pinching. They know who they're playing against. Like, you have to watch this shit. You know, if they're keeping track of lives, that they're all coming off spawn. Hydra's probably going to make a play. He pinches all the time. He flanks all the time. This is literally what he does. Like, Imp going through here in the elevator, like, there's no way he thought he had, like, the timing on all of them. They're all spawning in the back. Like, that guy spawned up way before him. Like, you just got to play guarantees in the alley, or even play in the hill with them, bro. Like, play back alley. Like, you need this time. You need to kill one guy one more time. Like, especially Hydra. You know Hydra's gonna be the one making the play. So number 3 and number 4 are pretty much doing their thing. But if Simp isn't pushed up much, because now, like, the spawns flip as well because he's so far pushed up, like, you need to stay and secure the spawns still, because, like, P3 is still a hill you can hit from the front, you hit from the Eskies. It's a pretty easy hill, like, to take over spawns, and even if they are spawning in the back, like, it's still pretty favorable to hold. It isn't like P2 where, like, you need, like, top spawns because then everyone has to come through the bottom or here. It's a lot easier to hold it. But at number 2 going away and just, like, thinking he got a timing, and number 8 just getting free kill, because now it's just 30 seconds chalk. This would have been like 130 at least, even if it was 23 more seconds. Like, it would have been a lot closer of a game. But now NYSL gets this, and now the lead expands to 70. Like, or I mean, like, they get back on the hill. But that was big time. That was big time. Big time they needed to hold. And, like, FaZe had this problem the whole game with not being able, like, to get, like, basically almost any P4 time at all. Like, they couldn't get P4. NYSL always had spawns going from P3 into P4, and they were just able to hold. Like, Hydra's literally playing a bush, like, playing core. These are the players FaZe don't like to play against. Like, they don't like to play against people hiding in trees, bro. They don't like Shotzi. Like, they don't like players when they're able to do that shit. They don't like it. NYSL just was able to hold P4. Like, every P4 they held, like, outscored them so much on P4 hills all the time. Like, the A's needed the spawns from P3 going into P4, and they just didn't do a good job capitalizing on it. And NYSL was just able to, like, take this one way out of reach just from, like, P4 holds. Just from P4 holds, and, like, you saw, like, those, like, small kills. Like, those small kills, like, that draws a kill going into, like, the last P4 that didn't go their way. That's the P4 they're supposed to hold. And then that P2 hold with Simp pushing up too much. Like, small plays like that, like, take leads from, like, 30 to 70 to 100. And then when it's, like, 220 to 140, like, it's basically lost at that point. Like, and especially on, like, this underbridge hill, like, you're just not going to be able to hold all the time unless, like, you're just fucking twisted. And they just were not twisted because Hydra was just in their cheeks every single time. And it was basically chalk from here. Even though they're still holding this, it goes into a P1 up next, which is pretty mixy. It would involve flawless holding, but flawless holding against, like, other top 4 teams is, like, very unlikely. It's likely, but I mean, a P1 you're not gonna be able to hold NYSL like, off a P1 without them being able to mix it up. But yeah, even them just fucking getting this time, because now at this point, FaZe has to throw like their whole playbook out the window. They have to make sure they don't get this old time, but then they gotta watch new time, and it's basically chalk from here. So yeah, NYSL just held P4. Like, they got over 100 points off of P4. So you take 100 points away, even cut that in half. You put 50 on phases from P4, and you take 50 off NYSLs. It's like a 220 to 210 game, you know? It's like completely different game. You take that last P4 where Jawser probably should have got a kill and Garage would have switched it their way. Like, these small things on small hills is what takes the game out of reach. I don't even think it was like when people saying, oh, like they caught FaZe off guard, I haven't played the map in a while. Just small mistakes, man. Like, they scrim this map all the time, man. Like, they scrim these maps every day. Like, there's no way they're just caught off guard by, you know. FaZe was 7-0 going into this. Like, it shows the records at the beginning of the game. Like, FaZe was 7-0. Like, they had not lost. 9-5. They slaughtered NYSL on this map like a couple times. First in rotation percentage, first on holding, all out the window on this map. All in the window this match. There's part of me that thinks this could maybe be a small blessing for FaZe. We'll see if it actually happens in the vetoes at CoD Champs, where now teams saw that they lost to Rio, so now they're probably thinking that they have a better chance at beating him on this. I still feel like FaZe, like, obviously is the best Rio Hardpoint team. Just a couple small mistakes that they change around, and they're still good on this map. So I'm curious if teams actually start bringing back into the map pool, stop vetoing it, veto like sub base now or some shit against them, and bring Rio back in, and then FaZe just starts slaughtering teams on Rio again. I'm curious if that happens. If that does happen, then this lost NYSL could be blessing in disguise, but we'll find out on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.